In a given year, in a normal time, we usually have about 1 in 5 people in a year who would identify as either anxious or depressed. But during COVID, we now know that that number is 2 out of 5. So 40% of people in our community right now could identify as either anxious or depressed. Oftentimes, people with anxiety or depression are likely to try to withdraw when things are normal, when things are not in what we're in today. And so what we see is we see people that are even withdrawing even further. And part of the challenge that we also see is that the normal connections that maybe we've been able to have for people that are dealing with anxiety and depression aren't there. So it's not as easy just to stop by and say hello, or it's not as easy to see them maybe at the grocery store or at church or some other place that you could maybe connect with them. I think it's really important that we make a schedule or even stick to times that maybe we wouldn't think about otherwise. Maybe your routine has completely changed. So really thinking about when you might have reached out and connected with family members that maybe you didn't see. If you would have gone to grandma's on Sunday afternoons to spend the day, make sure that you are reaching out on Sunday afternoons. So trying to keep that normalcy even though our days seem to meld together and we don't really have that separation in time and space. Historically, we've known during times of trouble, such as the economic downturn in 2008 or other really stressful times in our communities, that suicide has gone up. Some various signs and symptoms that you might see in someone would be withdrawal from normal activities. Again, during this time, a lot harder to evaluate, but still it's a possibility. A change in grades or work performance. It could be using substances more. So maybe they hadn't been drinking heavily, but now that you start to see that they are drinking, a lot more anger outbursts. There could be a variety of things. The loss of a loved one, a beloved pet, a job. During these times, these are some of the things that we're concerned about. Anytime that someone says something directly to you that I just don't know if I can go on, I can't take this anymore, this just seems to be too much, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Those are some pretty broad statements that we should never ignore. But even the fact that someone just being more isolated or withdrawing, it may be for self-protection. A lot of people that I know are no longer engaging in social media or getting on the news or watching as many things as they were on television before. But it could be a sign that there's something wrong. So anytime that we start to see a change in behavior, it would be important for us to talk about that. QPR is an evidence-based training that is around question, persuade, and refer. Really, it's 3 simple steps to help recognize when someone may be suicidal or feeling that they need a higher level of care, persuading them to go get that help, and then referring them to the appropriate place. It's really just about helping get people who are struggling to help. Doesn't mean that they're going to have to be hospitalized. It just means that helping them find the right level of care that they need so they can get on the path to recovery and feeling better. Oftentimes, we're concerned about asking the question about suicide in that we think that it will put suicide in someone's mind, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. What we do know is that asking about suicide actually brings relief to the person who is suicidal. So don't be afraid to ask the question. To me, that's the most important thing. And if you can't ask the question, find someone who can. Find a friend who can have that conversation with them. Find a therapist. Find someone who can ask that question. 95% of people who try to end their life through suicide and don't complete suicide go on to live happy and productive lives. And many, many of them say that the first regret that they had immediately was they shouldn't have done it. So if we can help people get the help that they need, we can have more people live healthy and happy and productive lives. If by chance one of you or your loved ones are feeling suicidal or depressed and you're not sure where to turn, please reach out to our helpline. Or if you're suicidal and you are in crisis right now, you may reach out to the suicide hotline or call 911 if needed. Don't hesitate to get help for people that are in need. Now is the time for action.